A monster slate of games this week on NFL GameDay Pick'Em, starting with the Seahawks and Raiders in London. Who do you like in that one, Frelund?
After running 10,000 simulations for every single game, my model projects the Seahawks to win 27-22. Both O-lines will struggle, but I think Russell Wilson makes more plays.
Sunday night in Foxborough, New England favored by 3. MJD, the last time they played, Kareem Hunt had 246 scrimmage yards. How big of a factor will he be in this one?
He's going to be a huge factor because they have to run the ball to force New England's defense to try to stop the run, crowd the box, to let Tyreek Hill, Sammy Watkins, Travis Kelce get single coverage on the outside. If he can't run the ball, they won't be able to throw it well, so I'm saying he's going to be a huge factor. He's going to have the same game as he did last time.
Just one game this season with over 100 yards from scrimmage. Bill Belichick definitely cooking up something nice for Patrick Mahomes, isn't he, Cynthia?
Well, absolutely. I think it's going to be that he needs to keep him inside the tackle box. When you see Patrick Mahomes throwing fast, as in 2.5 seconds or less, he's 10 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, and the best passer rating in the league.
No quarterback under the age of 24 has won in Foxborough during the Belichick-Brady era. That being said, as we give our picks, I'm going to pick the Chiefs in this one because I promised all Chiefs fans I would do so until they lose.
Tom Brady at Gillette is not Blake Bortles at Arrowhead. I think that Tom Brady is going to take advantage of that Chiefs defense who allow a lot of receptions to running backs. I'm going with the Patriots.
Yeah, I just don't think the Patriots can keep up scoring with this Kansas City Chiefs offense. They throw the ball over the yard. I have the Chiefs winning.
Ooh, you picked it last year and you were right.
Yeah.
All right, I have
always
the
right.
You're always right. I have the Patriots coming out on top 31-29 in a closer contest than you might think. I do think the Patriots go by way of their linebackers, and I think, Patrick Chung, checkmate on this one.
Oh.
All right, what does Andy Reid think about this matchup and the Chiefs' perfect start? You can find out Sunday morning when our guy Steve Mariucci, Mooch, going one-on-one with Kansas City's head coach on NFL Game Day morning. That's Sunday at 9 right here on NFL Network.
All right, you think that's going to be a good game? We've got a huge AFC North rivalry game in Cincy this weekend. The 4-1 Bengals hosting the 2-1 Steelers. Last year, as you may remember, Pittsburgh swept Cincy in both contests. The Bengals are favored by 2 at home. You've got 2 top 5 scoring offenses. MJD, I'm going to ask you this one. Which offense do you like the best?
I love the Bengals offense. I think they're on fire. They've been on fire the last couple weeks. They're 4-1 because of their offense. They've had to outscore people. Joe Mixon has done a great job coming back off of injury, and they're starting to get a little bit healthier. I think they're going to light it up.
I like the Bengals defense as well. Cynthia, TJ Watt, and Geno Atkins both tied for the league lead in sacks. Which one, though, is getting to the quarterback more?
Well, Geno Atkins probably gets to the quarterback more, and inside pressure is a bit more disruptive than that coming from the perimeter. But I think in this one, despite the sacks, it might go the other way.
Okay, so are you going with the Bengals?
Yeah, no, I'm going with the Steelers. 24-23. It's a close one, but I think ultimately the ability to pass the ball to Antonio Brown and Juju Smith-Schuster, I think they get the advantage.
I'm going to go with the Bengals. Pittsburgh's not playing the Falcons this week. All right? This is going to be an AFC North matchup. It's going to be a little rugged, a little tough, and I think the Bengals have a better offense right now as a whole.
Both these teams play each other incredibly tough, but I'm going Joe Hayden this week said they're focusing on A.J. Green. I like slot man Tyler Boyd to exploit that Pittsburgh secondary. I'm going with the Bengals.
Pittsburgh has won 6 straight in this matchup. So I'm going to go with the best quarterback in this game, Andy Dalton, and I'm picking the Bengals.
Wow.
Which means, people at home, Cynthia is the lone wolf picking the Steelers.
That's how I get ahead.
And, of course, we should all be scared because every time she does this, she is 4-1. This does not bode well.
She hasn't done that with me here, so she's...
that's right.
That brings a new aura to the mix. A battle of former number 1 picks when Cam Newton and the Panthers taking on Alex Smith and the Skins. Panthers 3-1. They knocked off the Giants, looking good. Skins 2-2 after getting pummeled by the Saints. Washington favored by 1 here, MJD.
Yes.
This is a running back-driven game, in my opinion. Christian McCaffrey, second in the NFL, 130 scrimmage yards per game. Will he get those numbers against that Skins defense?
I think he will. The Redskins defense did a great job of limiting Kamara's overall ability on Monday night, but I think Christian McCaffrey has Cam Newton. Cam Newton's such a running threat that you have to focus on him. It's going to allow Christian McCaffrey to get out in the open field and make plays.
The Washington passing offense ranks 20th, but that Panthers passing defense is worse than that. So does Alex Smith take advantage of that, you think?
Last year's number 1 deep pass passer rating quarterback. He's going to start doing it again this season, this week, against this defense. He's going to have to. We saw those passes to Paul Richardson against the Saints early in the game. I think those types of things are starting to roll now.
All right, pick time. I'm going against all conventional wisdom, considering the Redskins haven't beaten the Panthers since 2006, and I'm picking the Redskins.
Pick it with your heart.
Pick it with your heart.
Not with your head. I'm sorry. I am going with the Panthers on this one. You saw Alex Smith struggle against the Saints' pass defense. The Panthers' pass defense, even better than that. I'm going with the Panthers on this one. Plus, they're getting Thomas Davis back.
That's right. Thomas Davis is back. Greg Olsen. I think this team is getting healthier. They're 3-1. There's a reason they're 3-1. I'm going to go with the Panthers and Cam Newton.
Smart man.
I'm with you. Panthers 24, Redskins 22. I think you have to watch out, though, because that defensive front for the Redskins keeps things a little bit closer than you might think. Jonathan Allen's a beast. I think that they're underrated good in that. But I'm still picking the Panthers.
Sorry, Dan. The lone wolf there. More game picks in just a bit. Let's talk individual performances in more or less. Jameis Winston, 2 touchdown passes against the Falcons, more or less.
Oh, it's going to be way more than this. I mean, the Falcons defense, I'm going to say 5. Falcons defense hasn't stopped anyone in the last 3 weeks, and it's not because of their personnel. Their starters are all banged up. They're all out for the year. So how are you going to stop guys with guys who are mainly backups or guys off the street?
So I'm definitely not going with 5, but I'm going to go with more than 2. I'm going to go with about 3 on this one. I do think that he's going to have a passing game script, as in he'll be playing from behind. So that's why I think it's going to be 3.
Playing from behind.
All right, let's stay with that 3 theme. Aaron Rodgers will throw 3 touchdowns versus the 49ers, MJD.
No, I'm going to say more. After watching them against the Lions, and I'm going to say 4. But they got to get back on track. You know, they didn't play really well against the Lions, so you got to get back on track. You have a team coming in, it's a little beat up. Go ahead and put your foot on them.
I think this one's going to be a negative game script in terms of passing touchdowns, especially late in the game. He had to throw those passes against the Lions because they were playing from behind. It's not going to be the case this time. I say less.
All right, let's shift gears. Let's talk defense. The Texans and Bills will combine for 5 sacks Sunday, more or less, MJD?
I think Houston is going to get 5 sacks on Sunday. So I'm going to say 8 sacks. So I'm going to say more in this situation. J.J. Watt's starting to find his groove. Clowney's doing a great job. And that Bills defense finds a way to get to the quarterback. This is going to be a great defensive game.
Jerry Hughes, he's going to do it. I think it's going to be about 6 sacks in this game, so that would be more than 5 sacks. For me, this one comes down to, look at how many times both of these quarterbacks have been combined to be sacked and to be pressured. They both lead the league in that. Number 1 and number 2. More, for sure.
And let's not forget that Deshaun Watson listed as questionable in this game.
Oh, man, looks like Trubisky figuring things out over his last 3 starts. Trubisky undefeated, a 110 passer rating, throwing almost 80 yards more per game, MJD. The Bears are favored by 3 in this one. The Dolphins have dropped 2 in a row. How can the Dolphins possibly turn things around against the Bears?
Well, I'm going to give you 2 names. Frank Gore, Kenyon Drake. These 2 have to run the ball. You have to slow down that pass rush from the Bears defense. You can't allow Khalil Mack to go crazy, sack the ball, strip sacks, all those things. Run the ball, force that offense to sit on the sidelines.
Might be hard because the Bears' run D is ranked best in the league. But, Cynthia, I'm going to ask you this. The Dolphins have big injuries on that offensive line. Are you expecting Khalil Mack to eat?
Unfortunately, if you're a Miami fan, I do expect Khalil Mack to get 2 sacks in this one. When you're going with your not second but third string center and your left tackle is at least on the injury report all week, if not even playing, that's a really bad sign when it comes to sacking Ryan Tannehill.
Yeah, that O-line very banged up, so I'm assuming I know who you're picking.
Yeah, so I'm picking the Bears to win this one 23-18. I think it's a lower scoring game than many might imagine, especially since the last time the Bears played, they scored a ton of points, but a lower scoring game. Bears on top.
I agree with you on the total. Do not agree on the winner. The Dolphins started the season 3-0 for a reason. This one's at home. I think they're going to right the ship. MJD?
Yeah, in Mack I trust. And I'm going to go with the Bears. I think Khalil Mack is going to be too dominant again for the 5th week in a row.
Ryan Tannehill, they have a lot of issues on that offensive line. We just talked about it. He is among the league's worst against pressure. I am going with the Bears. All right, time for On the Hook, presented by Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's. MJD, who do you have on the hook for an upset W this week?
It's the Falcons. The Buccaneers are coming in. They've had a bye week, got a chance to get your young quarterback, Jameis Winston, going, get a full week of practice. I'm excited to see what they can do. I know their defense can't stop anyone, but I think they have too many weapons offensively for the Falcons in that dome.
I feel like the Falcons defense brings out the best in any offense right now. Dan?
I think you are correct. On to Dallas, where the Cowboys host the Jags. Jacksonville now 3-2 after losing to KC. Meanwhile, the Cowboys dropped to 2-3 after falling in Houston. The Jags favored by 3 over the Cowboys. I don't think this Jags defense spells good news for Dak, does it?
It doesn't really spell good news for anyone, but considering Dak Prescott is averaging 2.0 yards per attempt against pressure, and the Jags bring the most pressure in the league, it is not a good matchup for him.
He only has 2 games this year where he's thrown for over 200 yards in what we are in now, which is a passing league. MJD, your former team on offense, what do you want to see from them?
Listen, Blake Bortles, Jags offense, do not turn the ball over. If you don't turn over, you win. Give me that Blake I saw in New England, the guy that was throwing for 4 touchdowns, letting it rip. I can't see the guy that was in Kansas City. I don't need to see him.
Look, I'm going to start off the game picks, and I'm going to go with the Jags because I'm concerned about that Dallas offense. They have the 3rd worst scoring offense. Forget about his passing yards. He can't even get a touchdown. I'm going with the Jags. You have the Jags as well?
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Jags as well because they don't lose after they lose, if that makes sense.
Fair enough. Cynthia?
So I have the Jags pulling this one off. And you're going to go first, Dan, because you know what?
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you the score in a minute.
Well, good. I'll just say Jags simply because they're a better team, and there's nobody on this Dallas offense, nobody outside of Zeke that scares me.
So I have the Jags 24 and the Cowboys 20. This is a higher scoring game than you might imagine because both teams have better defenses than offenses. But I think 24-20, Jags get the win.
Points in this game. All right, you need more pigskin prognostication. Here's Dave Dameshek with 60 seconds.
Hi and hello, everybody. Dave Dameshek here. The Seahawks and Raiders are getting together for the Marshawn Lynch Skittles Bowl. Marshawn's going to celebrate with a touchdown, and if history is any indication, he'll run over Seahawks safety Shalom Luani, number 24, just as Marshawn did to the Raiders, number 24, when he was still on the Bills.
Beast mode, touchdown.
The Bears and Dolphins offers a rematch of the 1985 Classic, in which Miami derailed Chicago's dreams of a perfect season. However, because in NFL terms, 13 is greater than 17, Ryan Tannehill will not match the 3 touchdowns Marino threw 33 years ago. However, the Dolphins will win. Remember how the 2017 season started? Up in Foxborough. The 2018 Chiefs have an even better QB, but unlike last year, Brady will show everybody who's boss in a game that'll feature at least 60 total points. Way to go, baby! And in Nashville, 2 good defenses meet up, just as the Raven and Titan forefathers did back in the 2000 playoffs. And just as that game was decided by a Ray Lewis pick 6, Baltimore will win this one thanks to a Marlon Humphrey pick 6. Enjoy the games, and I will talk to you next week.
Thank you, Shaq. Time for Frelund to get funky. It is quick picks. Bucks, Falcons. Go, Cynthia.
I'm going the opposite of Maurice Jones-Drew. I love Maurice. I don't love his pick. 30-24 over the Bucks. Both quarterbacks could throw a pick, but Jameis Winston has the pick in my book.
I don't like Maurice Orr's picks. Just saying. Ravens, Titans. Go.
I have the Ravens coming out on top in this one, 22-20 over the Titans. Joe Flacco in this offense, they're for real. He's passing for a lot more yards, like almost 200 per game this season. And their defense, they're allowing the least points in the league. Ravens on top.
Browns hosting the Chargers.
Yeah, I think people are surprised because you remember the last time, a long time ago, the Chargers were the team to give that one upset. But in this one, I have the Chargers on top, 24-22. Phillip Rivers to Keenan Allen is a touchdown that's going to happen. And I think Melvin Gordon also sees the end zone.
More scores now in high scoring or low scoring. Let's start with the Rams, who are averaging 35 a game. Broncos averaging 20. High or low, Cynthia?
Low scoring game in this one. Mother Nature's going to play a big role in this one. There's supposed to be snow in October. I think that's going to limit it to 27-23, which is below the average, especially for the Rams. A more conservative game plan here.
All right, Cardinals and Vikings in Minnesota. Kirk Cousins has been playing every bit as good as his contract, yet he doesn't have a running game to support him.
I think this is a low-scoring game. The Vikings win 24-17. I'm really concerned about this O-line. I think they're going to run a little bit more, maybe even get that first rushing touchdown of the season. Lower-scoring game overall, though.
How about Colts-Jets? Both of them averaging 20-plus points per game.
So I have the Colts winning this one in a high-scoring game, 24-23. Check the injury report for how they're going to do it because there's a lot of Colts on the injury report. But for me, in this one, a slight win and a low-scoring game. Sorry, high-scoring game.
All right, high-scoring game. There you go. MJD, your lock of the week is who?
It's going to be Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers going against the San Francisco 49ers. You guess what? The Niners right now are banged up. You lost your starting quarterback. Right now, the Packers they're trying to figure out a way to win. I think they get them at home. They find a way to do it. Lock of the week.
Hard to argue with that, man.
All right, it is time for my favorite segment, Pick Six. We got 6 games. Cynthia giving points to each pick. 6 being her most confident, 1 being her least. Let's start with the Chargers at the Browns, where it's not so easy to play in Cleveland anymore.
No, it's definitely not as easy to play in Cleveland. However, I think the Chargers still pull off the victory. This one gets the number 2, though. That's some respect for Cleveland right there.
Okay.
Second least.
Second least, right. The Seahawks on the road to play the, in London, no less.
They're all on the road. Everyone's on the road. Seahawks take this one. Russell Wilson, that's the game winner here for me. Okay. 5 points. Very confident.
Marshawn Lynch facing his former team.
I think he's going to see the end zone, though. I do think he sees the end zone.
You are. The Bears taking on the Dolphins.
Yeah, okay, so I got the Bears in this one, and I got it big. So sorry. Sorry, Dolphins
That's a very
fans.
confident pick right there. All right, let's move on. Here we go. The Bills and the Texans. Josh Allen might get sacked a few times.
They're both going to get sacked. They're both going to get sacked quite a few times, I think, in this one. A pretty confident pick here. Just because of injuries, that's why it's not even higher.
Game of the week. The Chiefs at Gillette against the Patriots. How do you feel about this?
It's the first time I've picked against the Chiefs in this one, and it's a 3. That's pretty confident. But I do think it's going to be a closer game than you might think, given that you think Patriots, October, let's go.
Yep, absolutely. All right, Steelers, Bengals, they always play each other.
You guys think this one, and you're wrong. You're going to go with this one right here for the very confident one, which is the least confident, which is why I'm making a big deal about it, because I'm a lone wolf on this one.
You are the lone wolf, though. Big Ben is 11-3 against Andy Dalton. So here is your recap. Of course, the Bears beating the Dolphins is, of course, your most confident.
I like
You're making our producers very happy there.
All right, here's a recap of some of our picks. We are split on the Bucs and Falcons. We clearly love the Los Angeles Chargers. Lone Wolf on the Dolphins and the Redskins. That could be this guy, says the dude pointing at himself. And we all love the Packers and Jags as well.